Hello and welcome to Teamworks. This is a podcast where we'll be covering everything to do with the gaming world. Each episode we'll be talking to people like ourselves. If you're a streamer or you're just a casual gamer that just wants to talk about gaming, we'll be talking all about everything to do about gaming, and from time to time we'll be talking about Marvel stuff as well. So if you're a big Marvel fan, we'll be talking about that. So this is our podcast. We are Teamworks. Hello and welcome back to Teamworks. This is a podcast about gaming, and we are on episode 4 now, believe it or not. It's come that fast, on season 2 now. We have a really good guest on our show this week. He's always on the radio. It's RadioJay. How are we doing? Thank you for joining.
Hello. No, thank you for having me. I'm really good. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Just made up that we've got you on the podcast, which is amazing.
Don't build me up too much. You'll set people up for disappointment.
But honestly, mate, I only got to know you really more because my mate gave me a shout out on Simulation Radio
Yeah.
at the start, and and then you came into my channel and I thought, oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's how most people come across me, to be fair, because I've been on Simulate Radio for about 9 years now, so yeah. Wow. It kind of crosses over nicely into gaming and everything like that with the nature of what the station is. So yeah.
That's fantastic, mate, and that's the first question. I was more of getting to know you really, and our listeners when they're listening to us. So just tell us a little bit more about yourself, and explain why you're a radio presenter and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm Jay, 34, Englishman living in Scotland. I've been up in Scotland for 10 years now, and I love it up here. So yeah, most of my time online is spent doing radio and Simulate Radio, like you've said. It's hard to remember why I got into radio, because I've been doing it for so long, even before Simulate Radio, but just really like music, to be fair. Yeah, I just, do you know what I mean? Music can get you through any kind of situation in your life. Is a song for every occasion kind of thing. So when I was really young as a teenager, it was naturally something that I kind of wanted to get into. And then Simulator Radio kind of, like I said, I've been there for 9 years, and that kind of came about because I do gaming as well. So obviously I got into like Euro Truck Simulator 2, heard about the radio through that. That kind of linked in with my interest in radio. So the two kind of became one, and the rest is history. And kind of my gaming kind of links to my real life as well, because I have my HGV license in real life. So so it's like my real life job linked to my gaming, and my gaming linked to my passion for radio. So it all kind of merged into one. It's just really strange how that happened.
That's fantastic to know as well. And how do you get the time to do all these, with your job as well?
Yeah, it can be a struggle. I would love to have a set time every week, the same time every week, where I could do a radio show and everybody would know that is the date and the time that I'll be there, but that doesn't happen. So I actually work in logistics management now more than the driving side of things, so I tend to do 11-hour shifts. It's a night shift job, so I sleep during the day. I'm awake at all through the night kind of thing. So basically, I just, whenever I've got a day off, I normally have two days off a week, maybe 3. I try and plan a radio show in amongst that. I do try and stream every now and then as well on Twitch, but like you said, there's only so many hours in a day, and I do have to, make sure I spend time with my partner and actually have a life and touch grass outside, as they say. So,
honestly, mate, God, there's not that many hours in the day. You're totally right. We're now into September, and that's flown over that.
Oh, don't. That's crazy. Working in logistics and seeing Christmas stuff appear already on pallets is just like, no. Don't do this to me, man.
I bet you're like, why did you give me that job today?
Oh no, honestly, it's crazy. But yeah, the years just seem to fly by. I mean, I think you're a similar age to me, but it's just like, do you know what I mean? It's just like a year's gone in an instant. It's crazy, man.
Well, they do say, don't they? When you get older, time does fly faster. So yeah.
That's true, kids. They're not lying when they say that. If you're sitting there now at 18 or whatever, think I've got all the time in the world, before you know it, you'll be pushing 40 and be like, what's happened?
Honestly. But what got you into simulation games in the first place? You know, like Truck Simulator and all that?
Aye. Again, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one, because at the time that I discovered that game, I was literally driving trucks for real. So when I look back, I'm like, that's a little bit sad that I went and drove a truck. When I came home, I sat and drove a virtual one for a bit more. I don't know. But I made some really good friends through it. The thing you'll find when we discuss like my gaming habits and that is, most of my game choices, like what it is I'm playing, has to have some kind of element of reality to it. Like, it can't be too far-fetched. I've only really noticed this through like kind of thinking about what I was going to talk about on this podcast, but I obviously don't have that massive of an imagination, so I don't play a lot of like fantasy games. I don't play things that are like really far removed from reality. So I really enjoy simulation games. I find them relaxing. So it's not just trucking games, it's, you know, like Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day, any of those kind of games, Farming Sim briefly. My partner thinks that type of game is really dull, but I don't know, I just find it relaxing. I think I play games to relax rather than to be challenged, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I mean, I played some games that are a bit challenging, but I do like... I've been on Farmer Simulator before, and I have to admit that's really good. Even better when you're playing with your friends, because you can just chill.
Definitely.
Your farms and everything. Even put the mods on if you want, so you get all these other vehicles.
I was going to say, you got to be careful who you play that game with, though, because if you get a hardcore farm sim player and they tell you to download this mod and this mod and this mod, I remember looking at my files on my computer, and I'm like, how many gigabytes is farm sim taking up now? It's ridiculous, man.
I know,
but it's good fun. It's good fun. Yeah,
it is really good. I mean, I've played that game a few times. I just wish I played it more. But I've started coming back on Truck Simulator a little bit more now. Now that I've got myself a gaming PC eventually.
Yeah. I'll be honest, my hours of gaming has gone down a lot since I left like the driving, and I've ended up doing a management job. My hours at work have gone kind of... I do way more hours at work, so like I said, when I do have a day off, I do probably do at least a 3-hour radio show, at least on 1 or 2 of my days off. So I like catching up with my friends on Discord, and then obviously spending time with my partner. I've obviously read that out in completely the wrong order. It should have been spending time with my partner, then radio. Yeah, but so yeah, my gaming hours have kind of a lot less than they used to be, but I still do try and dip into games every now and then if I've got the time.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like you say, there's not a lot of time, and with you having a full-time job as well, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's nice though, isn't it, when you have got time and you're cutting back and you think to yourself, well, it's been a long day, and if I got a bit more energy in me, I'm going to just chill. Just now we're on the game just helps, doesn't it?
100%, and it's not just the game itself. It's like if you play with friends, like it takes on. I've made online friends through gaming, like for example, ETS2. You know, I was part of a VTC, virtual trucking company. If people don't know what that is, so back in the day, I was part of TSR, which was when Simulate Radio was called Truck Sim Radio. They had a VTC. It was huge. I was part of that, and I made a couple of friends in that, which is like 8 years ago, that I still speak to this day, like on a daily. I've then gone on to meet them in person at like Peterborough Truck Fest in the UK. We kind of do that once a year now, where a lot of guys from my old VTC, we all like meet up from around the UK and just go there and have a good weekend of chats and drinks and what have you. So gaming can like really bring people together through like a shared interest. So I think gaming gets a lot of negative press sometimes for being to blame for negative stuff, but it's also got a lot of positives to it, you know.
It definitely has, and you know that's one of the reasons why we do the podcast as well. We're just trying to get out there, because I know there's not a lot of gaming podcasts out there, so I thought, you know, why not? Let's get on and invite people over to chat with, and it's good because you get to hear all different backgrounds on, you know, on why they became gamers and all that, and it's amazing to hear your side of the story as well, because obviously you've gone from you do gaming when you can, and then obviously you're big into your radio, which is fantastic, and it's just amazing to hear, isn't it? You know, different stories.
Yeah. So a lot of my interests are kind of do lead me to being online and all that, but I do try and balance that out as well with, you know, trying to get outside and stuff. Probably don't do it as much as I should, especially working night shift. It just, if you sleep most of the day, you know, it's during winter I hardly see the sun. Do you know what I mean? So out of bed into a warehouse, back into bed again. It's brutal, but yeah.
It pays the bills though, doesn't it, mate?
Oh, exactly. That's it. I'll do night shift forever. I will become a normal human again at some point, I'm sure.
You deserve a big retirement at the end of it all.
Aye, if retirement even exists by the time we get there.
Yeah, that's true. But honestly, fantastic. So we know that you're a presenter for Simulation Radio, which I've just come across that not long ago. Because my brother, you might know my brother Frank.
I recognise the name, yeah. When I went into Discord, yeah.
Yeah, so basically he's got me into it more. I did buy this game years ago on my laptop, but my laptop couldn't handle it properly, so I didn't play it after that. But I finally said to myself, yeah, I'm going to get a gaming PC, why not? Yeah. It's better because I love to stream a lot now.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier. You got more options with overlays and stuff like that. So it does make it easier for you if you're doing that. And obviously the podcast as well. The podcast works a lot better through the gaming PC because you know that your PC's not going to crash on you. Well, you like to hope it doesn't. Anyway.
Yeah, just as you say that, everything goes quiet. Boof.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, that goes on to the next question as well. Basically, is you know, you love your trucking, and you play Truckers MP and all that. So my question to you is basically, what's the best convoy that you've been on and you would happily do again?
Oh wow. I'm going to have to rack my brains now because it's been a while, but I have been involved in a lot of the charity convoys over the years. There used to be a yearly Children in Need convoy, which, you know, big respect to everybody that used to organise those. And quite often at that time, because I was quite active in the community, I'd be asked to be one of the streamers on the channel as well. And I mean, they raised like mind-boggling amounts of money. It was crazy to see, like, again, as gaming bringing the community together for a common cause, raising money for a really good purpose. So the Children in Need convoys stick out in my head. Also, one that was kind of more close to home, I guess, one of my best friends that I've made online through gaming. I'll call him Gamer5. I won't use his real name because he says it's weird when I call him his real name, even when we're in person. But he held a convoy. He sadly lost his partner was pregnant. They sadly lost the baby before it had a chance to be born. And because he, again, was a big part of the community on TMP, he created a convoy called Clara's Dream. and again that raised money for one of the units within like the hospital and stuff that supported them at the time. So that one sticks out because that was one that was a close friend and what have you. But there's loads of convoys. If you look at TMP and that, there's loads of convoys just for fun. There's ones for charity events, stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been the lead truck in a convoy, and it is nerve-wracking. Going back to what you were saying about computers crashing and that, when you've got like hundreds of people like following you, and then something goes wrong, you're like, oh no, the embarrassment.
Well, I think I've only ever been on a few convoys, and that was when I first bought the game, and it was on my laptop. So I thought I'll try it just to see if it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just say that it wasn't good.
No.
Let's just say I was lagging in every place going. So
so you were one of those. You were one of those people that are trying to overtake, and your truck's like bunny hopping backwards and forwards because you're lagging that much. Okay.
Well, I used to try and stick behind right at the back, just so I don't crash into anyone. And if I do crash, it's only that one in front of me.
Yeah.
But no, I couldn't do it. I am going to start going on convoys again. I just need to get a new steering wheel and pedals because at the moment I'm using an old steering wheel and using the up and arrow keys, which you know yourself. If you forget what the up and down arrows, you end up pressing the right and left, and then it turns your steering wheel fully.
Yeah.
So you end up all over the place.
I still remember way back when I got the game, and I remember playing it on keyboard. And then once you get some kind of wheel, it totally changes the experience. I've got a Logitech G29, something like that. I can't remember. I got it for Christmas. So I used that, and then there's a lot of people use the tracking headsets as well. So you can look at your mirrors and stuff without having to press buttons. So I got it was a cheaper version. It was called TrackHat. I haven't used that in ages. It'll be in here in this room somewhere. But all of that kind of just adds to the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Immersion. That's the one. So yeah, it's good fun.
It is good fun, and it's definitely a game I would love to play all the time. And I'm getting the steering wheel with the dial in the middle. I forgot what it's called now. Trying to
I'm not sure.
It's got a little dial and it shows you basically, what speed you're going and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's pretty cool, and if you get it on sale, you can get it for like £100 and odd. So it's it's affordable if you know what I mean, because a lot of steering wheels can be over £200 odd, can't they?
Aye, yeah. Like I say, the wheel I ended up getting was a Christmas present, so a long time ago, and it's lasted me years and years and years. So
well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, mine's an old Ford. I don't know, Trustmaster. It's a Trustmaster Ford, old one. Yeah, I've still got the pedals, but the only thing is the thing's snapped out of it, so it won't even connect. It won't even start. It won't use them. So. At least what I can say is at least I've still got a steering wheel that works at the moment.
That's the main thing. I nearly broke mine because I had it unplugged on the floor, and my gaming chair, I rolled over the USB connection to the wheel, and I kind of bent the USB. But I was like, oh no, don't do this to me. And I managed to get it in a slot, and it still works. So that was a lucky escape. But yeah, don't just dump stuff on the floor, people. It's not worth it.
It's not, definitely not. But it's a shame that you can't get like a bag for them or something like that to just store them somewhere.
I tidied them away a bit better.
Yeah, because you know yourself, at the end of it, you take it off your table, your desk, and you put it on the floor, you put it somewhere, and you know yourself, even though you put it on the floor, you know it's going to get stood on or...
Aye, yeah, definitely.
But honestly, it's mad. Well, the next question I'm going to go on to is basically, you say you stream from time to time and all that, but what was your first stream, and what game did you play?
Oh, I'd imagine it probably was ETS, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I've no doubt about that. But since then, I used to always stream during my radio shows, and then obviously that was a bit problematic because of the terms of service and music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I still do sometimes stream like what we call studio cam, but not very often. We do actually have like a behind the scenes studio cam that we can stream to on our own website to kind of get around the terms of service of Twitch thing.
That's good.
But I've done loads of different types of streams. Sometimes I go on there just for chat. Like yourself, I kind of thought about trying to do a podcast thing, but I don't have enough hours in a day to like organise guests and plan what I'm going to talk about and then do the thing, and then it's just so all respect for you doing that. But I've tried loads of different games. I've played Forza, which I enjoy Forza, but the only way I get points through that game is by destroying stuff off the track because I am useless at actually racing. I'll be honest with you, I'm absolutely garbage. So I quite like that you actually do get points for like going through walls and hedges and that, because that's the only way I get any. So that's often quite a giggle playing that. Done puzzle games. I actually, when I was trucking, I did a few in real life trucking streams where I set up one phone attached to the suction cup to the back window of the truck, kind of looking out, and then it just gave guys a bit of go on a journey with me through Scotland kind of thing. Watch me tip one of the deliveries, and obviously the messages by text to speech. But again, the signal's a problem with that. Parts of Scotland are quite remote, so the signal will drop out, and it wasn't the best quality, I guess.
Well, the signal around ours is lately it's been really awful. So I can understand when you, especially when you're on the roads, you don't know where you're going to hit, and it could be bad signal. So unless
you've got loads of money to spend on one of these big streaming backpacks that you buy a lot of data with, and I don't know how they work exactly, but the ones that the big streamers use when they're walking around Tokyo or New York or whatever.
I've seen that.
But small time people that haven't got the money to spend on that stuff, do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be worth it if you're only starting out with like a small viewership. But there is quite a few big, trucking streams where they have like I'm trying to think of them now. I think there's a guy called Dylan who has like a camera on both wing mirrors and one looking back down the trailer and about 3 different views of his carb, and it's crazy, man. It's really, really mental.
That's cool. You know what? They could work for ETS too and update the game to that.
Aye. That used to be the comment whenever I went live with a real life trucking stream. It would be like, is this ETS 3 or like the graphics update or something? Like, yeah. But that's a good thing about streaming, isn't it? There's so many different types of streams. You've got people playing games. You've got people doing hobbies like art and pottery work and whatever else. You've got people doing study streams where if you're trying to study for something, you can like watch somebody else doing the same, and it helps you kind of concentrate and hit your goals. It's like there's something for everyone, pretty much, I think, which is good.
There is, and it's really good. And my mate, unfortunately, he couldn't join us on this episode, but he does all like wood burning. Have you heard of it?
No.
So basically, what he does is he burns pitches into wood. So he treats and papers it sort of first, and then he gets a sketch of it basically, and then he burns it into the wood. He's got one of these burning pens, so it's like a pen that you write with, but obviously it burns. So he's done like the Beatles into a guitar before, and stuff like that, and he used to stream it. I mean, he hasn't been streaming lately because he's been that busy, because he does it as a living. He sells them and everything, and he just buys cheap planks of wood and stuff like that, and guitars that are on offer, and then he's making money that way. But honestly, his work is really, really good.
That sounds like something really fun, and like individual. Like it's not something you hear a lot of people doing. That's really cool.
I know, but it must be hard. I mean, trying to engrave pitches into
Yeah, I'd end up in A&E very quickly, I'm sure.
Well, I think he's burned himself a few times. He did. I think because he was doing it that much, his hand went into spasm when he was on stream, and yeah, when you're doing messing about with fire, yeah. But no, he's really good at it, and that's what he does. So that's in itself is art. But he loves doing that. I've seen his work, and it's fantastic. And like you say, there's all different streamers. So you could see like people just doing sports. It could be entertainment. It could be art, and like you say, gaming.
One of my favourite things to do is to go to Twitch, go on Discover tab, go to Just Chatting, or whatever it's called now. Is it called IRL? Or is it Just Chatting? I had to change it.
I think it's still called Chatting, if I remember. Yeah.
And I just kind of scroll through and look for somebody that maybe hasn't got like tons of viewers already, and it's crazy, like the interesting stuff you can find and really cool characters, and do you know what I mean? It's worth having a look about and not just going to the people that have all the views, you know.
Yeah, I like to go across any channel, and like you say, you might see something new and you think, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, the other thing I like to watch, kind of streaming and not streaming, I love all kinds of different games, but there's some that I just won't play because I'm a wimp. So, like, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, all that kind of thing. When I was growing up, I had an older brother, and I remember vividly, like, some of my first memories of gaming were, like, going through to his room and basically sitting watching him play Resident Evil. And I love the games, but would I have a shot myself? No. And that kind of hasn't changed. Even now I'm meant to be an adult, I still don't like venture into those games, but I'll love watching playthroughs of them on YouTube. I'll love watching streamers play them on Twitch. So, you know, you can enjoy games as a viewer rather than actually having to actively be the person playing it as well, you know.
That's the good thing about it as well. I mean, I am actually the same with you. I don't really play horror games. So you're not the only one there.
I'm glad it's not just me that's a wimp. That's cool.
Honestly. But I'll climb up like 100 feet tall or something like that on something ridiculous like that, and I won't look back. That I'll be all right on that. But when it comes to horror games, it's like, nah, I can't be. No, I'm not doing that.
No, I know. I just can't deal with the jump scares, man. Seriously, it's not for me. But I don't mind watching them. I love, like, horror films is my favourite genre of film as well, so I do love watching that stuff, but don't like being put into it, if you know what I mean. So
I know what you mean, because you got it in your own hands. You're waiting patiently. What's going to happen? You're like, something's going to happen, but when is it going to happen? And then something pops up in the screen, and you're like, nah, not for me.
So plus like I can stay cool under pressure at work when like stuff's going wrong and all that, but if I'm under pressure when there's some like big zombie monster chasing me, then all thought process just goes out the window and I end up dying anyway. So what's the point?
I mean, you just look at The Last of Us. I mean, Last of Us is a fantastic game, by the way, but there's moments in that game you think, oh my god, no.
Again, that's another game that I've seen through watching other people. I haven't played it myself, but I have seen it. I've seen it from start to finish, and you're right, it is a really good game, 100%.
The only thing with me is, though, I started the game and I haven't completed it, so...
I'm really bad for that. So, that's there's a couple of things about me. So, like I've already said, like my gaming choices now tend to... whenever I've tended to have some kind of reality to them at a base level for me to actually be interested. Yeah. And the second thing about me is I'm not somebody that plays for getting the trophies or the achievements or whatever. I'll play the story and then kind of that's it. I'm not somebody that completes a game 100%. And I am quite bad at going back to a game, starting a fresh playthrough, and then not finishing it. And then I'll do the exact same thing again later down the line, and I'll end up with loads of unfinished games. It's just how I am. I think that comes down to time as well, though. Do you know what I mean? It's just when you're jumping on when you can, you don't have as much time to dedicate to finishing it 100%, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you mean because I'm always busy in the day. I'm always doing stuff, and if I'm not out somewhere, I'm in the garden. You know, like you do, you potter around, making sure the garden looks nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I do get a chance, I do love chilling on a game. But like you say, I don't 100% complete them all the time. And what it is me and my mate game share. You know, you've obviously heard of game share and how it works.
Do you know, I hadn't until I listened to your last podcast with Nerdy Birdie and you were telling her about it, so I understand it a bit better now.
Yeah, it's really good as well because it's handy to have. Me and my mate have been doing it since the PS4 days, so it's been really handy for us because I used to be one that goes to a shop and buy a physical copy game, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. No.
There's no need to now, because game share. Yes, we we pay less, but we pay more as well because obviously you think to yourself, well, I've only paid half for that game. Should we go for that game?
Get something else. Yeah.
Get that game. And what he does is he 100% completes that game.
Yeah.
And the game that we just last bought, I would forget about that because we just bought a new game and I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll try that. So I'm constantly not completing the game. Although I have got 30 odd platinum still, so I've not done too bad there.
Nah, it's not too bad. But just to go back to what you said there about you used to physically buy games, but you don't anymore. Do people really buy physical games unless you're getting like a special edition, like ultra box set limited edition thing because you really, really love that game series? I think most people do a digital download these days. Probably, do they not? I don't know. Is that not why like HMV dropped off and games kind of dropping off? And
I think it is, and I've heard a rumor that eventually that's what companies want you to do, especially like Sony and all that. They want you to buy it through the store, which is really good because we've found some fantastic offers on there. There's always offers all the way through the years on games, so I think it probably benefits you better getting them on the store rather than getting them, physical.
I think it's the age we live in as well, because the same can be said for music. Like, obviously, I purchase a lot of music, which I need to legally do to be able to play it on the radio, and I haven't. The only physical CDs or anything I buy is if Linkin Park bring out some kind of collector's edition, like vinyl CD collection, whatever. Yeah. I'll go and buy that because that is my top band. But I haven't bought a physical album of anything else for donks. I go to the iTunes store or whatever, or if I'm just listening in my car, I stream it through a streaming service like Spotify. So I think it's just the age we live in, isn't it? It's just a digital era. Everything's like readily available at home. Just download it. You've got it.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know what? The thing is as well, we've still got a load of CDs. So because I've still got a laptop with a CD ROM in it, I just transfer them over to my phone, and then you don't see them out of the case anymore after that.
Yeah. 100%.
It's same with DVDs though. Who buys DVDs?
I know. Yeah, I vaguely remember getting DVDs and then Blu-ray. You used to get Blu-ray discs, but again, like you can go and download a film now. You've got all your streaming services. Like it's just physical, like media items. Just unless it's a special thing, I think are becoming kind of a bit a thing of the past.
Definitely. I mean, I used to help out in a local charity shop, and we stopped selling DVDs, and someone came in one day and said, "Don't you sell DVDs anymore?" And I went, "No, unfortunately, we can't sell them as quick because obviously people are always on Netflix and Disney Plus and so on." And we've got Netflix ourselves, but we've also got Disney Plus, which I'm a big Marvel fan, so that one of the reasons why I've got Disney Plus. And I am a Disney fan as well. I do like some of the Disney movies and TV shows. So I'm still a big kid at heart, barely.
Well, that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? I think like when you're growing up, you're kind of aiming to finish school and all that, and you're like, right, I'll one day I'll be an adult kind of thing. And then I feel like I quickly realise, like, yeah, you age and you take on more responsibility and all that, but like inside you're still like winging it. It's just like you don't really feel like you've changed that much. Do you know what I mean? You're still a big kid stuck in there, just pretending that you know what you're doing.
Definitely.
So, 100%.
And like I say, I'm a big Marvel fan as well. So when I heard that there was all these Marvel games coming out, I was like, wow, yeah, I've got to buy them. That's on my list. I'm waiting for Spider-Man 2 right now, so I'm looking forward to that. But before then, it was all Lego superhero games, and don't get me, the Lego games are fantastic. But I was thinking to myself, they've got all these Marvel games with the Lego. Wouldn't it be nice if they brought a proper Marvel game out? Because we haven't had one since, I think it was PS2 days when they brought the first original Spider-Man games out. And I thought that was amazing. But then when I heard that there's all these Marvel games coming out, I thought, wow. Are you a fan of Marvel, by the way?
I'm not massively in Marvel, no. But when you're talking about Disney, obviously Disney took on the Star Wars stuff. So that's that's why we have Disney Plus in this house, is for Star Wars, because like The Mandalorian was brilliant. Obviously the latest one is Ahsoka.
I need to watch that. I haven't watched that yet.
It's really good. Apparently the next episode that's out next week is getting shown in cinemas, so it must be something pretty epic happening with that. But
it's probably 2 hours long.
I really like Star Wars, always have, but not to like a geeky, nerdy level of knowing like every detail. But my partner's like, my partner can name an alien that stood in the background of a shot kind of thing, and can't remember who that is from this film, and I'm like, nope. But nah, I do love Star Wars, and I love the Star Wars games. I was actually, before this podcast, I was trying to think back to my childhood, which is a long time ago. And actually, I was like, there's a Star Wars game that I always used to play. Like, I spammed the life out of it because it was one of the only games I had for PS1. And I did a bit of Googling to try and remember what it was. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, I never played that one.
No, I remember playing that and getting hours of joy out of it. Some really good levels. You get to play as Jar Jar Binks at one point, which can only be a good thing. So that was a really good game that I remember from way back when.
Yeah, I do love the Star Wars games myself. I mean, I've played Star Wars Battlefront. That was a good game.
Yeah,
but it's a game I need to go back to because it's still getting regular updates to the day we're speaking now. And I've seen people streaming it, and I'm thinking to myself, I need to get back on it. On it. But it's just, I've got that many games, and like sometimes I'll go back to my PlayStation, but since I've got my gaming PC, I've noticed that I've been on my gaming PC a lot more than I would on my console. I'm still a big console fan because I've always grown with consoles.
Yeah.
But it was just the fact I got a gaming PC. When I stream, I mostly stream on PC now because I haven't got a capture card just yet.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking to get. But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
I'm kind of similar to you. Like, I've heard like a few of your podcasts and people saying what the first console was and all that. I don't think I've ever been like a hardcore gamer kind of thing. So my first console was a PlayStation Mini. So it was like the PS1, but it was the mini version. So I had that. And then I think I moved to Xbox 360 later down the line. I can't remember what came first. Was PS2 or Xbox 360? Or were they at the same time? I can't remember.
It might have been the PS2, but it could be. I don't think it was far apart, was it?
Far apart, no. But I was originally like PlayStation, because obviously it used to be you had to be like a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy. So I was PlayStation. Then I remember I made the move to Xbox, and then we've had since we've had like PS. We've gone back to PlayStation after that, but I haven't touched a console in like donks, honestly, because once I got my gaming PC, and this is obviously where I do all my radio stuff from as well, like in like my gaming room, if you like. That's like it's just naturally where I go. My partner has a gaming PC, PlayStation. It's got Wii, like everything you can think of. So much bigger gamer than I am, but yeah, I'm mainly on PC now. I'm a PC gamer now, for real.
Oh, brilliant! And do you know what? I'm loving the PC side of things now. But I do have a PlayStation myself. My brother upgraded to the new Xbox, so I got his Xbox One S. So I thought, why not? Best of both worlds, and I've got a Nintendo Switch as well. So
nice.
I've got a mixture of stuff, but it's like I've not really been on my Nintendo Switch for a while, so it's one of them.
Yeah,
because you got that many things, and obviously you're busy through the day and all that. So my time when I do tend to quiet down and all that is I'm streaming on my PC, and I think once I get a capture card that's compatible with Streamlabs, I think I'll be streaming PlayStation, Nintendo Switch stuff as well as gaming PC stuff.
Yeah, I was just thinking there. The last game I can remember playing on the console was Detroit Become Human. Don't know if you played that.
I started it, like I say, I've started it, but I've got far in it.
So I was just looking there when that was released, and that was 2018. So I've not touched a console for quite a long time.
Wow. So 2018. If you would like to be a guest on our show yourself and talk about your background, how you became a streamer or just a casual gamer, just DM us on our social medias, or you can contact us by our email, which is teamworkspodcast@outlook.com. Now let's get back to the episode. So last time you played, like you say, was 2018 on the console, was it?
Yeah, I've maybe dipped in since then, but that's the last game I can remember sitting down in front of the telly in the living room and playing. Nothing else comes to mind other than that. I've always been on the PC. Speaking of console stuff, though, can I give a shout out to a game that I used to play back on PS1 that I don't think gets enough love?
Yeah, of course you can.
Do you remember, it was kind of Grand Theft Auto style, but based in the UK, do you remember The Getaway or not?
Oh, well, I remember seeing the game. I don't think I've ever played it, but I do.
Oh, it was so good. The fighting, the driving controls were a bit clunky and all that, but you played as like an ex-crime guy that was trying to go legit, called Mark Hammond, but crime bosses in London wouldn't let him go legit, and they kidnap his son, and he's basically got to do all this work for this crime boss to get his son back. And it's amazing. It's around London. It's, like I say, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto style. The locations that you go to are like really, well, I know it was a PS1 game, so if I looked at it now, I'd probably not think they were as detailed as I did back then. But you know, inside like a UK police station, bars, like gang wars. I remember a shoot up in an art gallery. All the cars are legit, so you could like drive a Lotus. Like the police were driving around in Peugeot 306s. It's just no, honestly, that's one of the main games I remember from like my childhood, because I think they're really underrated. Because there was the Getaway, there was a Getaway Black Monday, and then they just dropped off. Unfortunately, I really, really loved that. But yeah, then also like Grand Theft Auto is probably one of the other game franchises that I've kind of has followed me through childhood, from like the old top-down, looking down versions to where we are now. So
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to The Getaway, because I almost forgot about it, and then when I was thinking about this podcast coming up, it's crazy when you think back, like what pops into your head, and I'm like, that was a belter game. That was.
Definitely. You know what? I don't know whether I've actually tried it, but I definitely have watched someone play it, and it did look like an amazing game. Talking about, getaway game and all that.
Yeah.
The other game I do love is Saints Row.
Right, okay. Yeah. I'm familiar with it. I can't say I've delved into it, but yeah.
Well, that's like a GTA style, but it's a bit more sillier, if you know what I mean.
Aye. Is that based around the biking gang as well? No?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is, because, you're definitely part of a gang and all that.
Aye.
But no, Saints Row the third was the best one. I mean, I don't think I played the first one. I've tried the second one. That's all right. It's not bad. The third one was really good, and they remastered it as well for next gen consoles, which was amazing. And then last year they rebooted it, so they've gone back to Saints Row, and the graphics on there is amazing, and it's recently just come out for PlayStation Plus monthly games. So I was so made up that because I thought to myself, I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to wait, because you know yourself, most of these games do happen to appear on subscriptions eventually. So I thought that was amazing. I had a little go before this podcast and all that. So it's decent. I do like it. It interests me. But the other game that reminds me a bit like GTA and Getaway as well is Watch Dogs.
Yeah. So I can't remember which one it was I got. Was it maybe Watch Dogs 2? But yeah, I love the premise of the game, the hacking and all that. So I remember playing it, but it's one of those games that I have yet to play to completion. But yeah, really good game.
It is a really good game, and the one me and my mate mostly played was Watch Dogs 2, because it was based in San Francisco, and it was just, the open world was fantastic. We really enjoyed it. We used to just ride on bikes and do stunts and try and go off a ramp onto a building. The amount of times we failed doing that, but we used to go on boats and take down boats and take a big ship, and we're like, this is ours.
There's a lot to be said for open world games where you can do the missions, you can do the story, but you can also go off and do your own thing and get way more hours of gameplay and enjoyment out of just doing that as well. Absolutely love that.
It's amazing, and do you know what? I ended up doing a video of it on YouTube, and we were both on pirate ships, so you can imagine what we were doing on the. Basically, we were just messing about, and I just made it into one of these videos, and it became it got so many likes, and I thought, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But no, there's games like that I love, and I think one of the best games is open world games. I think, in my opinion.
100% agree. Yeah, 100% agree. Because, like I said, there's just, you can get so much more fun out of them. See, even going back to Forza briefly, I said, I can't race very well at all. But every now and then, my mates who I met through ETS2 or whatever will do you fancy a game of cops and robbers? And so we'll load up Forza because they've got police skins and lights for certain cars and that. And then we'll set rules like how powerful your car can be and everything. And then basically, the people that are the robbers are we either do two things where you've got to try and blend in with AI traffic. Yeah. Until they track you down, and we turn off locations on maps and stuff, or we'll just do we'll start at Edinburgh Castle and just the robbers will set off flying, and however long after the police team will go after them, and the police team will communicate via Discord until we manage to track down who was playing the robber or whatever. But that's fun. It's really fun. And then you look at GTA 5. You've got all the 5M servers, haven't you? Simulator Radios and Transport Tycoon, which basically people go onto that 5M server, pick a career that they want to do, truck driver, like paramedic, helicopter, whatever, and make money on that career. And then you've got all the role playing, like going back to what people stream. You've got all the people that role play as police and stuff on Twitch as well through GTA. There's so like many endless opportunities when you've got an open world aspect to a game, I think, which is really good.
It is, and you know what? I've never played GTA. It's just been a game where I thought, nah, I don't know, but I've always liked open world games, and it doesn't matter what type of open world game it is. I'll play it because there's some fantastic ones out there, like Far Cry. Fantastic game.
Again, I had one of those games. I'm particularly not very good at it, but yeah, I love exploring. Like you said, it's just such a big open platform. You can explore and what have you. Yeah. Same a little bit with I dipped into like Assassin's Creed at one point a little bit, and those maps can be quite detailed and interesting. And then you've got like Red Dead Redemption, which a lot of my friends are big into. Again, I kind of dipped my toe in that, but never kind of went anywhere with it. But the open world and the detail in that is immense as well. And then I think the most recent thing, which has kind of piqued my interest a little bit, is Starfield. I don't know if you've looked into that yet, but
I want to because it's not long come out, has it?
Aye, it's pretty much brand new, yeah.
But they basically it's really good what I've heard, and I do want to try that game because it looks really interesting.
One of the deputy managers at work, Martin, actually booked a holiday specifically for that being released, so that he could just spend a week attached to the game playing that. So I'll have to ask him when he returns to work what his review was. He'll probably come back with like bags under his eyes because he's not slept. But anyway.
Well, I haven't slept for the full 7 days.
Pretty much.
But honestly, that was going on to my next question as well. Have you ever put a sickie in just to play a game?
Oh, recently, no. Have I ever done that? Have I ever pulled the sickie to just play a game? Not that I can remember. Although, if I have done it, I would imagine it's been a time when like a new Grand Theft Auto game's come out. Yeah, I can imagine me doing that. I can't recall doing it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
But it's a very good question, because a lot of people will probably say yes to this, because there's a lot of people out there that would do that.
I'll be honest with you, like, I'm not to keep harping on about GTA, but I am a big fan of it. Like, I'm so like constantly looking at when GTA 6 is going to come out. Like, I follow all the different Twitter accounts that are like giving tidbits and all the leaks and stuff like that, and I know for a fact that when that comes out, that will be like taking up my spare time. Do you know what I mean? I think my radio shows will drop off a little bit. My partner won't see me very much.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
Okay, well, ask them; they might be quite happy with that. But yeah, I know for a fact that when that comes out, But I don't think I could pull a sickie with the job I've got now, unfortunately. But it would be very tempting, 100%.
It would, wouldn't it? I mean, it's like when the new FIFA games come out. It was like not much of pulling a sickie, but literally, I remember me dad going. I think he went out, queued up before midnight outside Asda just to get the game for me, and I thought that was fantastic. So he went, he came back, handed it to me, and I was like, I've got to download it and see if by the time it downloads, will I have time to play it? So I was, So with the FIFA thing as well, my dad got it at midnight, queued up for ages, and I was like, should I play on it? And I was like, it depends when it downloads, but it's one of them. Yeah, you can pull a sickie, but you can also wait up until early hours in the morning for a game to be released, and then you end up saying, "Nah, I'm not going to bed now."
Yeah, Yeah, totally. Like FIFA isn't anything that's ever interested me. I'm not big into sports, but no, I can totally get the hype if you've got a game that you're really craving for. But obviously, if I decide to stay up all night, that's normal for me. Being night shift, just saying.
But yeah, no, that's a game that I do go on, but it can be a game that you can rage on a lot. I know football as well, but you can rage on it because there's some like people on it. You think to yourself, how did they, stuff like that. But
two honourable mentions about raging. One, a lot of my friends like to play Rocket League.
Yes,
that brings out a side of me I never thought I had. That just So I'd stay away from that because the frustration is real. And two, it's not a game I play, but my online friends, Gamer5 and RadioJay Gamer and that, and Creeper play. What's it called? It's a war game, War Thunder.
Oh yeah.
And I call it Rage Thunder because anytime I go into a voice chat and they're playing that, they're just so angry, and I'm like, why do you play a game for so many hours that makes you so angry? And they're just like, shut up. But anyway, yeah.
It's so addictive. I'll tell you what, my most game I've rage on, it's a game called Rogue Company.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to play that constantly with my friend, but there's that many glitches on it. There's a load of hackers on it. I don't like using the name hackers, but there is hackers. And oh my word, that you hear something come out of me that I never thought I would. It's one of them.
I think everyone has got a game like that. Yeah.
Do you know what though? I thought I'll record all this as well because I know I was going to rage. So
yeah,
I instead of calling it Rogue Company, I called it Rogue Rage.
Hi.
And I made a video of it, and it was quite funny, to be honest with you, because even though I was raging, it sounded like it sounded like it was meant to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you.
But oh yeah, 'cause there's so many games you can rage on, especially Rogue Company. I've not played that since the 5th of July, and the reason for it is I think the game is slowly dying, and I don't know, a lot of people didn't go on it after that. So, I mean, they've just brought a new character out, and that took them over a year to bring a new character out. How bad is that?
Yeah, that's not the way to keep people interested to take that long, is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Right.
It certainly isn't, mate. But no, gaming can, as well as it can be good for your mental health. Mm-hmm. When you go on games like that, you're like, why do you bother?
I think it's all about balance, and it's about knowing when it's time to take a wee break. And if you're getting really, really like genuinely angry and raging, and you see people putting the fist through the TV screen and stuff like that, it's a game. It's not worth that. Come on now, chill out. But yeah, no, it's all about balance. Like anything in life, it's all about balance in it, and you'll be fine.
It definitely is, mate. And like you say, it can be really good for your mental health. It definitely can. And you know what? Gaming's gone up from, I think it's gone to 90% of people play video games now, which is amazing. And I also like the fact that it's more popular on the female side as well now, because I think to myself, gaming's for anyone. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
It's for anyone, and I know, female gamers get a lot of stick, which I think is totally wrong because it shouldn't be the case.
It's so silly. It's so silly to get angry. Anybody that gatekeeps gaming as being a male space is just ridiculous, like genuinely. And people that get upset about female characters being the lead in the game, or like the latest thing that came up was like pronouns in the game. It's like, if that isn't important to you in your life, then you don't have to pay attention to it. You can still enjoy the game, but like gaming is for everyone, regardless of like your background, your sexuality, your gender, your age. Even it's really, I always find it really endearing when you see stories about people that are like 70s, 80s that still enjoy gaming in one form or another. So I don't see how anybody can gatekeep gaming for a specific. This is just for us. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's a game. Games are meant to be fun, and that's open to everyone. So, 100% agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and it's stupid. I mean, people just want to go on and enjoy themselves, not like get abuse and everything. And I've had abuse from games before, and I'm sure you have yourself. But some of the words that are said can be quite hurtful as well. So it's one of them. You can either come across nice players, or you can come across very toxic people.
There'll always be trolls.
Yeah, definitely.
Online in any form, it's like we said. It's just there's a lot of good to stuff online, but there's a darkness to it as well, and you just got to be perceptive and make sure that you fall on the right side of that.
Yeah, but definitely, and it's great. No, it's great to see that 90% of people play video games, and then obviously you got the female side coming into it, which is increased a lot. I don't know how much it's increased recently, but I did read a thing one month where it said 40% increase on female gaming, and it's probably more than that now, because I see a lot of female gamers these days, and it's brilliant because I talk to a lot now. I talk through all the communities and all that involved with, which I never thought I'll be involved with so many gaming communities and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up with now on Discord.
Really I'm the same. Like through my radio show, I get invites to a lot of different Discords and stuff like that, and it can be quite hard to keep tabs on all of them, But it's nice to be invited and be part of it,
It definitely is, and my aim is to build a big gaming community where people can just hang out, play games, meet new people, and just have a nice friendly time, and that's what I love about the gaming communities when they come together. It's amazing.
100% agree. 100% agree. Like me doing my radio shows for 9 years on Simulator Radio, like there's nothing. I get a real buzz when I see new names getting in contact with the show that I've not heard from before, but then a name will pop up that I haven't seen in my request line for like 2 and a bit years, and I'm like, oh, nice to hear you again. Just come back to gaming after I've been away busy at university, or I was travelling, or I've just moved house and changed job, and it's just, but they still return back to what they know and that gaming community, and it's like having a massive amount of gaming friends all across the world. Do you know what I mean? It's really good vibes that way.
It is really good, and I'm glad I've met people through all gaming communities, and the most people that come over to my live streams, believe it or not, are Americans, which it's amazing because I've knew a lad from America for so many years now. He I don't know how did they come across him. I think it was on the PlayStation or something. And then since then, he's been following me on all social media. He's been on my YouTube, and he's in my Discord server, and we still talk from time to time as well, which is amazing because, like you say, you don't know what you're going to expect through gaming communities, and it can be good things as well. I've because I live a night shift life. When I do radio or a stream or whatever, it's at unsociable hours in the UK. So I've met a lot of Australian people, a lot of Americans, but then I've made friends with people from Norway, from the Netherlands, Germany, like people in India as well, and it's totally different cultures, and but you're coming together over a shared interest, but then you learn more about their culture and like what's going on with them, which is totally separated from what you know in life. So definitely worthwhile. It is, mate, and this is this is the reason why we do our podcast as well, not just to get gaming out there and tell people that gaming is not just about gaming. There's more to gaming than what, a lot of people think, oh, gaming's just gaming, you can't go any further than gaming, but you can, because there's a lot of things in gaming that people won't recognise. Well, you meet all these new people. Yes, that's what you do. You talk to people. And I remember I actually was a presenter on one of the radio stations once, one of the simulator radios. Mm-hmm. You might have heard of it. It's Truck Stop Radio.
Yeah. I'm aware, yeah.
I was on that for a while. Unfortunately, something happened. I won't go into much detail on that, but there was a fallout, which wasn't on my behalf, by the way. It was just the people. Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. It was really good, and you hear like you say, you see people from all different. You see requests from all people from all around the world, wouldn't you? Yeah. And that's what I was doing. It was brilliant.
I've been an owner of SR in the past, and I'm a radio admin currently. And like when we look at the listener stats, and like you have people listening from like places you just wouldn't expect, and it's really crazy. It's really good fun. But that's why I like doing live shows, and I like doing request shows, because for me it's all about like talking to people and the interaction and that. You know what I mean? It's not so much about me and picking the music I want. It's like hearing from other people that makes it really fun. And that's why I've stuck with simulator radio for as long as I have, because it's something special there for me.
It definitely is, mate. And honestly, I like listening to your shows as well, because you make it really interesting, because you come out with some funny ones as well, which I love, because that's what it is. You don't have to just talk about music and all that. You can you try and interact with your listeners, so you say everything. Like my mate give me a shout out on the radio, and then you doubled the shout out and give me another shout out, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah. Like there's like radio, like but yeah, I was like recently we've had some big streamers tune in. So Julian, who's based in America, he gets maybe 2,500-3,000 listeners. So when he goes live trucking, he tunes in, and then the first time it happened, it crashed our website, and the request line where I read the messages from, every time I refreshed it, it wasn't liking it. So our dev had to like work on like a temporary splash page for the website, and we had to up our I don't understand all the techie background stuff, but our servers and stuff like that. But every time that he goes live trucking, it happens. Choco Taco. There's a lovely Australian lassie called Carla who, when she's trucking, she tunes in. So it's really nice how the radio and the gaming community have like overlapped, and it's much like a streamer, like everybody that works on the station is a volunteer, they don't get paid. Yeah. And we've managed to be running since 2014 purely on donations, Patreon support, and like some of the management, like myself, putting bits of money in to cover legal costs and stuff like that. But no, definitely good fun. It's like my main passion, so I'll be there till forever, as long as I can be.
Amazing. And you know what? I'm gonna keep on with this. I think we'll have a load of seasons before. I don't even think we'll end the podcast, because I'm enjoying it myself. We're getting guests on the show each week, which is amazing. And I love doing it, because before today we've not really spoke to each other, so it's nice that we could go straight into a chat.
Yeah, and I was a bit worried. I was like, am I really going to have a lot to say about gaming, really? Yeah. And then when I was thinking about it last night, I was remembering all these memories and stuff like that, and I was actually, do you know what? I have actually got a lot to say. So it's been a really good chat. Time's flown by.
It has, mate. It has, and you know what? It is amazing. Like what we want on our podcast is basically our guests, when they come on the show, we want to make them feel welcome. They're not rushing to saying things.
Yeah.
You take your time on what you're going to say next. And basically, the show is yours, basically, is what we say.
No, definitely been a relaxed chat. I've enjoyed it a lot, mate, 100%. So I think what you're aiming to do, you're definitely managing to accomplish it. So all credit. Well done.
Cheers, mate. And you know what? Well done with your radio career and your full-time job. I mean, that's amazing in itself. And I'll definitely be listening to Simulator Radio for a long, long time.
Thank you. I'll pay you later for saying that.
How much are you charging?
We'll discuss that off the air. It's all right.
But honestly, no, that's what it is, and it's nice just to get people in together, and it's really good because what we'll do is as well we'll try and get you on the podcast again, but next time hopefully it'll be with my co-presenter next to me, because we normally have a co-presenter with me, but the last few episodes he's been on holiday, or tonight he's busy, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately, but hopefully he'll be listening to this and he'll be thinking, you know what, it's been a very interesting chat, and hopefully we'll get you back on the show. We definitely will. I know that for sure. We'll definitely invite you again. We'll keep in touch for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'll definitely come back. 100%. It's been a good laugh.
It really has, mate. And we're just coming to the last few questions, basically. So this is a question that I've asked before in the podcast, but it's a very, very interesting one. If you could see yourself put into any game, what would it be? Why?
Oh, man. That is a really good question. I wish you'd told me in advance. I
don't know what's going to pop out my head.
What game would I put myself into? It's really, really cliche, but I can only imagine, like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto. I don't know, because do you know what? Not to harp on about radio again, but if I know you said you've not really played Grand Theft Auto, but it's one of those games that's so immersive, and they have radio stations in the game, and you've got like Carla Delevingne like being a presenter on Non-Stop Pop and all that, and the music and like the presenting's really funny and all that. So, and then you had like a character called Laszlo who was like a radio host throughout a lot of the GTA games, and then actually becomes a character that you have to kill off. Spoiler. But so maybe I could be one of those presenters in the game and be a character and actually maybe being involved in some dodgy dealings in the background. I don't know. Live a life that I've never had chance to live. That would be quite fun.
Well, you know what? That really sounds interesting, and a very, very good answer back to that question, because that is a tough question to ask. And
I think because most of the games I play are simulation games, you can't really put yourself into a simulation game as a character, really. So I would have to go back to the GTA franchise, probably. That would be good fun, I think.
Well, yeah, 100%. Sometimes on Truck Simulator, though, you don't actually see your character, do you?
No, and I've been a truck driver in real life, so I've already lived that reality, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can't really put yourself in there if you're already a truck driver.
No, that would be boring. Trust me, it's not as fun as you think it would be being a trucker in real life, so you don't want to do that.
Well, I've said in previous episodes, when I've asked this question before to people, and I've said what game I would put myself in. And I think, well, definitely Uncharted. I love the Uncharted series. That was just fantastic.
Good shout. Yeah.
I just feel like I would like to be someone like Nathan Drake, going out on an adventure, looking for treasure and stuff like that. It'll be very interesting to do that, I think. The other game I would love to put myself in, and I don't know whether you've heard of this game, is Life is Strange.
Do you know what? I've got a list of games that I had that I was going to mention in case I was asked specific questions, and Life is Strange is on there. I really, really, really enjoy those games.
I do. Well, I think the first one was the best one, but all the other ones are good as well. Yeah,
that's another type of game that I enjoy, like games based around like the choices you make, and how the story pans out and that kind of thing. Because in a way, it's like a non-threatening game, but your actions do have consequences. Yeah. Plus, that game has an amazing soundtrack as well. It's absolutely adore the art style, the music, like the premise of the game. It's really good. So no, I think that's a good choice actually.
I would put myself in the first one just because I would like to. Obviously, you're going to be female. I would like to be in Max's hands because I would like to have a power like her, superpower like her. She discovers that she can rewind and fast forward time. I think that is absolutely amazing. And pause time as well, which but you'd be fast forwarding time, and would you want to though? That's the thing.
If I could fast forward my 11-hour shift at work right to the end, and that'll be fine.
Actually, when you put it like that, it's not a bad thing.
Aye, 100%.
But honestly, that's definitely the two games I would put myself in, and probably one more is Lara Croft, and not just because Lara Croft.
Aye, yeah.
But she's a bit like Nathan Drake, which I often think that they can do a crossover story with them two.
I can imagine that, yeah. But what I'm getting a common theme here that like if you could be, you'd be an adventuring type. That's what I'm getting. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I've always been one to, explore, do new things. I mean, I remember doing the zip wire challenge one year, and like it was 100 and odd feet up in the air.
No thanks.
my dad said, "How did you do that?" Just got no fear, really. I haven't really. I'll just go up and and I did it. Literally, I went to the top, and there was people. I do feel for them, but they got right to the top, and they said, "No, this is not for me." So they all went all the way down. And bear in mind, this is 100 and odd steps up. With a massive hooked back on the back of you, and just walking all the way up with that heavy thing on you and walking all the way back down. I do feel sorry for them, but I literally go off, and he said, "Do you want to turn back now?" And I said, "Hell no."
No, and it's maybe if I do come back to your podcast, it's maybe we want to chat on next time. But I used to have quite crippling like social anxiety. Which I've managed to overcome over the past 10 years. And like you're talking there about like an experience that probably takes people out of the comfort zone. I've found like forcing yourself into those situations is really one of the best ways to overcome like fear and anxiety and stuff. It's really horrible and hard at the time, but it has a really beneficial thing after the fact.
When you think after you've done something, you go, God, I actually did that. It's something I probably would never think of doing, but I've done it, and you probably do it again.
100%, and I think that ties back into gaming as well, where it's a form of escape, and you do things in games through those characters that kind of gives you a sense of like freedom and power that you maybe don't feel like you have in your own reality. So,
absolutely amazing, mate. Just two more questions to finish off. Is basically we like to ask everyone at the end of our podcast is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to?
Just everybody at Simulator Radio. To be fair, like I said, I've been part of the community for like 9 years now, and there's a great bunch of people behind the scenes, and the presenters, and the people in the Discord, and obviously the listeners that are the whole reason why it's worthwhile. So that's been absolutely amazing. So big shout out to all that crew. Everybody at EHH VTC, which even though the VTC is kind of coming to a close now because we're not as active on ETS2 as we were, they're a massive bunch of really cool gaming friends that I've had the pleasure to meet in person once a year, and they're absolutely sound. And I'll give a shout out to my partner David as well, because if I don't, I'll be in trouble. So, so yeah, I think that about sums it up. Mum and Dad, thank you for everything. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you can shout them out if you want.
No, they don't know what a podcast is. Come on.
Your dad more likely might know what a podcast is if he's into his football and all that.
My dad will know because he was a truck driver as well, and I know he used to pick out podcasts to listen to when he was on the road, so he knows. Yeah.
Do you know what? I just love podcasts. I listen to us, and listen to a lot, and that's basically why I decided to do one. And then I asked my mate and said, "Yeah." We started in 2021. We didn't take it up as much as we thought we would in 2021 with all lockdown and everything going on. But then I asked him. I said, "Do you want to restart it and let's fully go for it?" But I said, "I've got an idea. Why don't we bring guests onto our show instead of just us two talking all the time?" And he went, "That is not a bad idea, that." So we started it. We completed season 1, and now we're on season 2. And we're looking forward to the future as well.
That's it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And there's never a perfect time to start something. So rather than waiting for the perfect time to do something, just jump in and do it, and it'll get better and better over time. 100%.
Definitely, mate. Honestly, it's been amazing to have you on the show. Just last question to take the podcast out to is basically our last guest is asked us a question for our next guest, and they don't know that they're giving it to you. But this is from Nerdy Birdie anyway. Basically, her question to you is: what is one game that you wouldn't mind streaming from beginning to end again?
What game would I stream beginning to end? That's a good question. Because as we've already discussed, I'm terrible at finishing games.
Same.
That's a good one. Do you know what? I would revisit Grand Theft Auto Vice City, because that's a lot of nostalgia for me, the 80s music and the storyline and all that. So I'd probably play story mode on that from start to finish. I'd quite like to play one of the Hitman games start to finish, but I am useless at stealth, so that would take me a long time to finish that game because I die repeatedly. Yeah, but Vice City, we'll go Vice City. We'll do that.
Oh, brilliant! That's an excellent answer to that question, and it's amazing. And do you know what? It's been a pleasure having you on the show, mate. It really has, and I'm looking forward to hearing you next on the radio.
Oh, thanks very much.
I'll definitely tune in, put a request in, and
no, thanks for having me. It's been a really good chat. Like I said, the time's flown, and I didn't realise I had so much to say about gaming. So, no, thanks for having me. 100%.
Not a problem, mate. And you know what? It just shows you don't know what you're going to say, do you? I mean, like with me, probably people will ask me, "Do you have a script written in front of you?" No, I don't. Because I know a lot of podcasters, they don't write a script. They just like do points.
Couple of bullet points.
Points. But I don't actually do. I just our podcast is basically we just talk like we would talk on game.
Aye, it's more natural that way, isn't it? It's more organic.
More natural, and you're not waiting all the time. And like you say, you don't have a lot of questions to ask all the time then, because you're constantly talking, you're not stopping. And I think that's why our podcast is what it is now. And then I hope one day that our aim is to get a big streamer on the show, and or just a big person that is well known out there. My target is Ninja. he's making it difficult for us to get in touch with him. Like, but yeah, if you're listening again, as I've said in previous podcast episodes, if you are listening, Ninja, or anyone that knows Ninja, come on, get in touch. Let's get in the chat, and honestly, you'll love the podcast.
Anything's possible, mate. I'm sure it's possible one day.
It is.
I've no doubt.
You can only get one answer, a yes or no, or
Exactly.
you don't get an answer at all. So that's my vibe, and you know what? It's been amazing, mate. Thank you for joining. We'll definitely get you on at some point again. But next time it'll be with my co-presenter, so there'll be 3 of us talking as well.
Ideal. No, thank you. It's been good fun. Cheers.
Honestly, mate, thank you for joining the show, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, ideal. Thanks very much.
No problem. See you now. Bye.
See you later.